everyone that turn if cars are parked there. We sent out letters to all the affected property owners, about 10 houses on each side going outward. We received 2 responses that I would like the trustees to hear on record prior to voting here. All right, one is, I live on the corner house at 1770 Big Blue Stem Way. I have family and friends constantly coming to my home. People with children, the elderly, and I fear that if they have to walk from 3 houses away as proposed, someone could get hurt, especially in the winter. I spoke to 2 realtors, Jenny and Mandy. Both had concern for the sellability of my home in the future with no parking signs up on both sides of the street. Concerns they mentioned were, what if a new buyer had teens with cars? What if they wanted to entertain? They feel that having no parking signs on both sides might deter future buyers in a way that living on a main road might. Those homes historically spend more time on the market, which would allow ample room. And they want to consider having no parking on only one side of the road, allowing for ample room for emergency vehicles to access, without closing parking on both sides for those on the corner lot. That is one against, I guess, the proposed resolution. The second looks to be not against, not for, but mainly the difference between the 2 and 300. First, thank you for your dedication in serving our community. My name is Sarah, and I am writing regarding your vote on the placement of a no parking sign on our street, Big Blue Stem Way, North Star Community, Sunbury. We reached out to the township administrator to get some clarification on the location of the sign, and were made aware that the sign will be placed approximately the ending of the yellow line, so that's the yellow striped no driving line in the middle of the road. If it was approved, the location of the yellow line ending is in front of our house, 1756 Big Blue Stem Way. We have attached 2 photos of the front of our home in which you can see the yellow line ending. This line is approximately 2.5 feet from our driveway, and in between there's our mailbox. Though we understand the placement of the no parking sign is not necessarily an exact ending of the yellow line, we wanted to voice that we would prefer the sign be placed on the opposite side of our driveway as marked in one of the photos. This would make logical sense since most vehicles are longer than 10.5 feet, and if they were shorter than 10.5 feet, their parking would obstruct USPS delivering our mail. Again, we are requesting the sign be placed on the opposite side of our driveway. Before you, the 200 and 300 foot options that we have presented satisfies that. Either puts the sign west of their house, which is before their driveway, slightly into the yellow line. That's the 200 foot, and the 300 foot pushes it back to where this resident mentioned, which is on the opposite end of their driveway, not making that an issue.
So has anybody looked at this other than our maintenance guys? And
it has been Berkshire Township only.
Okay, so, I know I got the letters from Ryan. When he sent me the pictures of when he sent me his pictures to see how congested it was, I could see where there was a serious problem. What I don't know is, how long are these driveways? I mean, if you had a family of 3 kids, 4 vehicles, could you put 4 vehicles in their driveway, or is it so short that you'd have to have parking on the street?
I do not know if the driveways differ, but I can tell you at least a few of the houses there, it looks as though you could fit 2 by 2 for at least cars in the driveway.
If you look at the third house, you couldn't though. I mean, it looks like a lot of these you probably could, but some of them you might not be able to. I mean, unfortunately, I think it depends on which house.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, when you buy a home, you don't buy a home thinking that you can park everybody on the street. I mean, I don't park you on the street. I got plenty of driveway. That concern to me is not valid. The concern to me is safety. Where is the most likely place to put this? So when people are turning onto this, they don't end up having some kind of a problem. So I guess I don't know whether the 200 foot or the 300 foot option, I'm not quite sure. I'm not a road person. Mike is.
My thinking is the model of what we have down there at Abbey Way. And how far is that one? I can't remember.
I don't have the
We put them
exact
there a
number,
couple
but
years
it
ago
is
for-
closer to the 300 foot designation.
We put them there for the reason that people making the right-hand turn were all of a sudden at the rear end of a car. Now, my thinking is with a ladder truck or something like that, BST&G comes around there at a fast pace. And that goes for our snowplow trucks in the winter. So I can't help but think on the safety is from Wilson Road, 300 feet, just like we do Heavyway.
I talked to Mr. Hughes after he sent the email, and he explained it really, and it does seem to be a significant safety problem, especially with people on parking right up on both sides. And he broke it down at how quickly people are coming through there. So certainly, I mean, I understand the first residence issue with putting them on both sides. There may be a happy medium. Keep it on the side where the right turn in is located and allow parking on the opposite side. But we definitely have to put it on the right side there. And my preference is the 300 foot.
So are we talking no parking both sides or parking one side?
My preference, considering that other residents' concern, I think that if we split the difference, having no parking on one side and that being the side where you take the right turn in, I mean, I think that alleviates the concern of people having to walk 300 feet to the corner. I'm not sure the resale value is
No,
directly
that's not an
impacted
issue.
but I'm not a realtor.
That's not an issue. So Mike, what is your thoughts? I was thinking both sides. I didn't know.
Well, I'm thinking the one side.
I can go either way.
Because if you go both sides, I mean, okay, if we have no parking on one side, that gives these people the option of parking on the other side.
But you brought up a very good point about our fire department. Their trucks are
They're long, the ladder
very
truck's
long. The
long,
ladder truck is long.
you know, and the
I'm not
tanker.
quite sure parking on one side and trying to make that turn hit out at the street here. There's no parking out here, right? The street that turns into it?
Wilson
No.
Road?
Yeah. All right. I'm open to whatever.
I think, my opinion is if we stick to the same thing as we do Abbey Way, we are consistent in our neighborhoods.
300 foot?
300 foot,
300 foot though, just the one side?
yes, for me, that's my one side. Yeah, if we do both sides, they lose the option of parking on the other side, and the other side is an exit.
Don't you want to have like at least toward the intersection of a space where, because if you have one side, you just cut your road in half for an emergency vehicle. I was thinking if we brought that back to where at least they could make the corner safely.
300 feet on one side,
No.
50 on the other.
Well, I'm kind of thinking that, but I don't know what would be adequate. 300 on one side and like you said, 50 feet or 40 feet from the actual intersection.
I just want to make a point here. I've been on these roads a lot with the small snow plow truck, and I can't tell you how many times I've got people parking on both sides. And and it might not be an issue here, but the big snow plow truck, you know, it just never fails at times. And people park on the roads when there's snow and shouldn't. I just want to mention that sometimes when you get into these smaller neighborhoods, if they do that, you can barely get the truck in between them. And that,
So you're allowed to park on the street when there's snow?
I'm not supposed to, they do it anyway.
All right.
Cul-de-sacs are a disaster. And when we're out on the roads at night, there's sometimes no place to put the snow other than right there at the cars. We can't move them. So, you know, just from my experiences, that's what I just wanted to get.
Okay. Well, what kind of a decision are we going to make tonight? 300 feet?
I would like to see
obviously, is
300 feet
side.
on one side.
What are we going to do about the other side? Clear to the corner or 50 feet back? You want to stay consistent with the rest of the,
Yeah, what do we have in the other one?
Nothing.
Okay.
So yeah, Abbey Way is 300 feet both sides of the road. I don't think there was as a robust of conversation because there was no
both sides.
there was no resident input in that case.
And that's disappointing that these residents didn't show up to at least state their case. That to me would have been way more effective than just send a letter in and have it read. So
Right.
I would like to do what Paul said. 300 on whichever side you guys pick, and at least 25 or 50 feet toward the intersection. So,
I agree, we should do what Paul said.
Well, 50 feet at least is 50 feet away from the stop sign. 25 feet's not very far.
okay,
So if
So I
you,
could go with that too.
so if you don't mind, Chair, it looks like the resolution would be no parking, 300, approximately is the word I would like to use, 300 feet from the intersection of Wilson and Blue Sim on the south side of Blue Sim Road, and no parking from that same intersection, approximately 50 feet, really to kind of take over, would it be accurate to say that vacant lot, to
okay,
get to
yeah,
the end of that vacant lot before the first house on the north end of Blue Sim Way?
that's good.
Yep.
All right,
Okay. All right, so I'll make the motion of 300 feet on one side, 50 on the other.
Second.
Vote?
Trustee Myers,
yes,
trustee DeTillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Okay. Motion to approve resolution 2025-10-R2, the approval of an agreement with Intertech PSI to perform soil testing for the recreational courts project. Tyler?
It's pretty much what the resolution states. It's so that we could test the soil as they were doing the work over at the recreational courts to make sure that what they're doing is sound and safe.
Is that to see how deep the gravel will be? Is that what they're testing for? or-
Deep in quality, what they really need to do to put in, especially for the sub drainage and what they're gonna be pouring onto.
all right,
Questions? Motion to approve?
second,
Vote?
Trustee Myers,
yes,
trustee DeTillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Motion to approve resolution 2025-10-R3, adopting a cybersecurity policy for Berkshire Township. Tyler?
And so many organizations, including townships, now have the legal responsibility to adopt a cybersecurity policy. The policy given to the trustees to consider is the law policy given by the state.
Any questions? No. All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Vote?
Trustee Myers,
yes,
trustee DeTillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Motion to approve resolution 2025-10-R4, approving the disposal, potential sale of items, list photos included for referral and removed from security and phone upgrade project with Clearpoint Tech. These items are no longer of use to Berkshire Township. Tyler, how do we sell these and determine which ones to dispose of?
So our attempt will be to sell everything that we can that is first, whether it's through the GovDeal website or some other means that are allowed by townships. We would only dispose if we are unable to sell any items.
All right. Any questions?
No.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
second,
Vote?
Trustee Myers,
yes,
trustee DeTillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Motion to approve resolution 2025-10-R5, approving the grant of sanitary sewer and drainage easements on parcel 41721001001001008, and authorizing the township administrator to effectuate the easements. Tyler?
And so this is for that Pulte Del Webb community going in on the North Star, the north end of the North Star development going into Kingston Township. Now that we have those roughly 29 acres that were received from North Star, they need to take the sewer from the houses to the south to this new development. So this is just giving sewer easement rights to Delaware County Sewer to lay that piping.
All right, any questions?
that's at no cost to the township, of course.
Correct.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Vote?
Trustee Myers,
Yes,
trustee DeTillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Motion to approve purchase order 2025-10-P1 in an amount not to exceed $10,000 payable to Terrain Evolution for additional fees associated with the Berkshire Courts project. Tyler?
And so we just ran out of appropriated funds. We had a smaller amount when we originally contracted with Terrain. They are currently helping out with checking in on and managing through the Pavilion Courts project to the side, so just making sure that we continue using their expertise, make sure all is going well.
Questions? All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Vote?
Trustee Myers,
Yes.
trustee DiZillo,
Yes.
trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
All right, Delaware County Health.
Good evening. Can't believe I'm already saying this, but I just wanted to advertise our annual recycling of our string lights. There are a couple different locations that you can drop them off, whether they're burned out or you're just no longer using them. It'll start from November 15th and run until January 19th. The closest location to Berkshire would be probably the Sunbury Municipal Building, but there are several locations that you can drop those off. And then lastly, flu season, considering September and October are the ideal months to get vaccinated. Just kind of wanted to promote that. We will be accepting walk-in hours, but we have clinic hours Monday through Friday where folks can make appointments as well. Last year, there were about over 120 flu hospitalizations just within the health district. So yeah, that's all I have, and just wanted to wish you two good luck on the upcoming election.
So on the recycling is just for what?
Any type of holiday lights, Christmas lights that you,
Okay.
are putting out.
Okay, thank you. Fire board, you're up, Rod.
All right, as you can see, if you've driven by the new fire station, it is definitely undercover, and it looks like we're on schedule for it to open up in March. So we should hopefully be setting a date sometime in March for the opening of it. And as far as the business for the fire department, everything's going well. It looks like not next year, but the year after that, we'll possibly have to go on the ballot for something. Yeah, I saw that, of course, but that's what it takes to keep the fire department. So anyhow, just thought I'd let everybody know that everything's it's on schedule.
Okay. All right, Tyler, you're up for the courts project update.
So Vasco is the contractor we've been using to create our recreational courts. They've been here for the last couple of weeks and they're moving extremely quickly. At this point, they just poured today the continuation of the sidewalk that goes from where the pavilion currently ends to the entire length of the recreational courts. They should have the actual asphalt poured by the end of this week, if not early next week. After that point, there will be some putting up of the fencing that we will have, some of the actual poles for the courts. And then at that point, we will be done for the year on this. In next spring, they will come back and do the actual coating for the surface. It's just too cold and late in the season to do that coating. So next spring, give or take, as we defrost, we'll have that done, but we are moving very quickly on this stage.
I got a question.
Okay.
Paul, I know you're in charge of parks. Once we get these courts in, I think we're gonna see more people out there wanting to play pickleball and basketball
I hope so.
and whatever. I'm hoping that somewhere in the future, if these go over as well as I think they're gonna go, maybe there's somewhere that we can expand. And
Yeah, I think that was the thought process when the group got together. They did discuss that, having a larger court presence. And I think we scaled it back to look to see if it was being used. So down the road, if it, does require expansion, we'll look at it. But, first.
I know I've had comments after comments on, they can't wait till they come in. Everybody's thrilled. And I get more comments about the pickleball courts than I do the tennis courts and basketball courts. So
Yep.
I was just hoping that down the road that we can expand. And it looks like you've covered that.
Yeah, that was part of the discussion way back when. So, yep.
All right, Tyler, you're up for economic development update.
So I want to do a quick update of some of the building that you would see around the township, just to make sure everyone's apprised and knew what was where at this point. So as I'll start the very north end of Wilson Road and work myself down. So the very north end of Wilson Road at our intersection with Kingston Township is that Pulte Bell Web community. As you continue going down Wilson Road, the next project you will see is the BST&G Fire Department going up, the secondary location along with general housing. in that North Star area as you continue down to the intersection. The first very large and quickly building that you will see is the Mercedes-AMG Center. So that's there right on the corner of Wilson and 3637. It seems like they're moving right on pace, if not faster than what I would have assumed that building would go up. Continuing down Wilson Road, you will see a building just south of those apartments there, and that's the Wallet Community Center, which is the assisted living and memory care center. Currently being built on that road, and then kind of along with economic development, but kind of tangential to it, is the 23 bypass project that ODOT is looking into. So that is something that Berkshire Township is keeping apprised on, which is that, I guess, 23 relief is what I will call it, that they are currently considering additional interchange, probably north of Berkshire Township, to a point where it looks like Berkshire Township likely won't see any large effects of this interchange. But as ODOT kind of narrows down what they're going to do, we'll continue looking, providing input, making sure that Berkshire is in a good place with it.
And remember, I went to a meeting on this morning, and it's significantly north of us. I mean, they're gonna circumvent Ashley, that area, and come across. But again, this is still preliminary. This was just a study that was required in House Bill 59, then back into the budget bill this year. So they finished the preliminary report on October 1st. The only corridor they're considering now is relatively north of us at this point. The one that was gonna have the most negative impact was coming across 36. So we got eliminated relatively quickly, cost-wise, as well as environmental impact. So
So will that go east then?
it'll just go to 71, 23 to 71. And it was, one of the bigger concerns apparently was Allen Creek. They want to stay far north of Allen Creek.
So what's an update on Highland development? I heard it sold to Romanelli.
I do not have a large update on the Highland. I know that they've done everything they need to through the township. They've went and been approved, I believe, to the county regional planning. I'm not entirely sure what the delay has been. I think I've seen they've now started some site work, but they haven't been in contact.
But I heard from just being out about that Romanelli took it over. Did you hear that, or is that just something somebody told me and they're not?
I've heard that Romanelli looks to be potentially the home builder,
Okay, maybe that's
chosen for the development.
okay.
I think it's Romanelli. If you look on the website, it says Romanelli.
All right.
Okay. All right, Tyler, you're up for the seating with the Village of Galena.
So as stated at our last meeting, Berkshire Township is continuing its negotiations with the Village of Galena for a CETA, which is now I'm gonna completely blank on this, Cooperative Economic Development Agreement, in which the township and village will be looking to kind of be on the same page with zoning, have some non-annexation, some sharing of funding resources to help the community as a whole. We are proud to announce that before Berkshire Township's next meeting on November 10th at 6 p.m., we will be having a joint public hearing, or I guess meeting. That way residents from the entire area, but specifically the Village of Galena and Berkshire Township, can sit down, hear about the plan, voice their concerns, comments, what have you. About 10 days, give or take, before the meeting, the we'll say fully finalized as much as it can be, agreement being considered by both parties will be at least on Berkshire Township's website, if not as well on Village of Galena's website, available for pickup. That way everyone can have all the information and see what we believe is a great opportunity for the area.
And that date again is?
November 10th, at 6 p.m., so 1 hour before our scheduled meeting. So come for the CETA and stay for the wonderful township meeting after.
Okay.
All right, I got a comment before we go on. All right. Obviously, I've been out driving this area a lot. And I'll tell you, the speeding on our roads is out of control. It goes for Rome's Corners, it goes for Dustin, 3Bs and K, Cheshire, South Galena. And we went up to do 61, and that was so bad that I said, well, I'm not gonna even try to campaign on this street. The speeds are just out of control. And obviously, the sheriff obviously is not doing anything in the way of slowing people down. And I really think that either we or the next board that sets up here should look at something and say, we're gonna do something about this. I mean, if we just had a sheriff a couple days a week to sit there and write tickets and let people know you're not gonna go 65 mile an hour on a 45 mile an hour street. I mean, it's just out of control. And I think there's something we should do about it. And maybe we'll be the first township to ever do something like this, to say, we want to slow people down. Because we get a lot of people that's coming from the freeway to go to Johnstown or go to Centerburg or go to Westerville. They don't care how fast they're going down our streets. It's just get home as quickly as possible. So I just wanted to bring it up tonight. I think it's an issue, and I think we should look out for the safety of our residents and see if we can't get some done, whether we have to hire a sheriff and say your job is to slow people down. Or I know I talked to Hemikowski today and mentioned it to him, and we spoke, and he says, I agree with you. People are just out of control with how fast they travel our streets, and most of them are 45, but they're not going 45. So I wanted to bring it up for something for the board to consider.
Tyler, we have a history here. Doesn't Orange Township have a relationship with the sheriff's department that they fund? I mean, obviously we can't have our own sheriffs, but we can have the deputy, you can fund deputy salaries. They get a card that says Orange Township on the back.
And so we have, I think, two large separate options, which is one, create our own police district, whether it's with us, another municipality, village, township, whatever you may have, is one option. The second option is contract with the sheriff's office in order to have a deputy or deputies within the township at certain areas. It is something the sheriff's office will do. It takes roughly a year lead time, so they can get the requisite deputies in, trained, set up. When I last checked, it takes roughly 3 individuals to cover one shift 7 days a week, which you factor in 40 hours a week, sick, all those sorts of things. It was, when I checked, this was right about when I got in, so let's call it 1.5 to 2 years ago, $130,000 per deputy per year to have somebody here. So go a little over 300 grand for one shift per year, which is still cheaper than starting your own police department or law enforcement agency from scratch. But it is something the sheriff's office does do.
But are you talking, I don't understand, you're talking one shift a week? Or
That would be one shift 7 days a week.
well, see, I don't really think it takes that. I think if we had an officer out there, whether it takes 2 during the daylight hours, at night, I don't think the problem is bad. But during the daylight hours, couldn't we just have a person come in on Saturday and Wednesday, and their job is to write tickets? Because sheriffs typically don't write tickets. They typically are out there to go to on calls or things like that. I want someone out there to have a speed gun and say, you're doing 65 and a 45, you're gonna get a ticket.
I would need to check to see whether we could do something less than full-time. But I will say in general, that person is confined to your township, so they only leave if there was like an officer involved shooting or something at a higher level. So general things would not have them leave your township. The only thing we need to do is give them a place to start and end at, so an office to start their day and end their day at. And I believe they would follow wherever we would like to have them and perform the duties as necessary.
Well, I know I've spoke with Galena, the mayor, and he seemed interested in doing something as, say, a partnership. We could both go together and get their area covered and ours, because it's a problem. I'm telling you, I don't know how many close calls I've had trying to back out of someone's driveway. And I mean, they're doing 60, 65 miles an hour, and here the speed limit is 45. So it's just a concern. I thought I'd bring it up.
Tyler, do we still put out speed signs?
Yes, yes, we do.
But that's typically in the residential areas,
Yes.
not on Rome's Corners or.
We would not be able to actually put that out on our corner road.
If you remember some years ago when we got the speed sign, we put it on Berkshire Road. You remember what the top speed was? It was 97 miles an hour
Yes, it was.
on Berkshire Road. So and it's not a bad idea at all, but if you talk to everybody, they will tell you theirs is a worse road.
Oh, yeah.
And everywhere, because I've had calls and theirs is a worse road. And I've even been passed on my own road. as narrow as it is.
I've had 4 accidents out in front of my house, and they were all because of speed. But I just thought I'd bring it up. It's something for us to look at.
Okay. All right, anything else? Okay, I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Nope, you missed
Skip
that
over
participation.
Jump right over.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's up there at the top.
I see it now. All right, public participation.
Oh, now somebody's got to get up because we just did that whole thing.
Ellen Eby, Hollywood's Drive. Tyler, could you speak a little bit more about what this CETA is? What, and this is obviously before the November 1st on the website. What type of agreement are you trying to make with Galena? What are you spending the money on? Do you have any idea what this is about?
So that sounds louder to me for some reason. In its simplest terms, it is a non-annexation and fund sharing agreement. And by fund sharing, I mean the income tax coming from Galena split over the area, as well as if any economic development incentives are used, or there any funds left over, if there is an NCA, which is a new community authority charge, which is either a sales tax or a property millage over the area, stating what amounts go to what jurisdiction, and mainly for the help with public infrastructure governance, ensuring that the areas continue to grow in a safe, efficient, and fiscally sound way. So it is currently looking at roughly the area east of Rome Corner Road, abutting Galena, coming toward the township hall at the moment. Us working together on zoning, that way we have a cohesive zoning plan for the area so that you don't automatically know I'm in Galena, I'm in Berkshire, just by moving 1 foot one way, 1 foot the other by either type of use or look, and making sure that incompatible uses aren't together. So making sure that one zoning entity isn't putting like a smokestack next to a $500,000, $700,000 home, right? So it's trying to keep zoning continuity for the area in hopes that it's a better community for everyone, not just because you're one jurisdiction versus the other, because we are so intertwined. So I mean, that really is the crux of it, is working together on really getting funding for public infrastructure, keeping us all fiscally sound, and making sure that there is cohesive zoning.
Why would Galena want to share their income tax money with us?
It allows Galena to receive income tax from areas in which they do not have to provide services. So because it stays in Berkshire Township will continue to be in charge of the roads, the zoning, all of those costs, so that Galena can keep some of the income tax from it without having to expend those resources.
Oh, we don't have an income tax.
Correct. So part of the CETA is using a municipality's income tax over that specific area. And it would only apply if a new development comes in. And before all of that, the property owners actually in the area have to agree to have the JED, is what it's called, the income tax placed on that area. So it's not something the township or village can do on their own. They actually go to the property owners and get their okay on it. The reason why property owners generally would say, yes, that is okay, is one, it cannot apply to a single family farm use. So it does not actually affect the current property owner. And what it does is it says, we now know where sewer is going to come from, because Galena in this case would agree to provide sewer, which helps them know where sewer is going to come, or allow them to kind of have the future public infrastructure knowledge for the area be solidified for them.
Correct me if I'm wrong, it basically preserves the southern part of our township, that it just doesn't get annexed away over the next 10 or 15 years.
Correct, so it would preserve that entire area, and then it abuts Plum Road, so then really nothing coming from the south would be likely.
Anyone else? Okay. Now I can make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Vote?
Trustee Myers,
Yes.
trustee D'Utillo,
Yes.
trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
Motion to enter into executive session pursuant to ORC section 121.22G8 for negotiations with other political subdivision visions respective to economic development assistance administered under section 701.07. It is 20 till 8. I will make the motion.
Who else can attend?
That's 4. Right?
Correct.
Your
Second.
trustees and Tyler.
Second.
Second, vote.
Sorry, who seconded that?
I did.
You did, thank you, sorry. Trustee Myers?
Yes.
Trustee DeTillo? Trustee DeSantis?
Yes.
You don't have to say. Okay. Keep it on, because we'll still hit the meeting. Oh, that's working. All we're gonna do is come out here.
Thank you very much.
You're good.
I'll use your paper.
Oh, no, I don't have a email from us.
Yeah, we got it at 68.
I know, our computer's pretty cold.
Which is hurt, nobody got so hot.
Hey, good job then. This is one.
Trustee, fiscal officer.
Okay, our fiscal officer. Same thing to do.
Yeah, how could you?
Hey, we're late.
I went to the wrong township.
You need our names underneath it?
Just your signature,
All right,
I
cool.
We're a little bit.
Let guys out.
The township's right next to you.
This is the soonest.
I was gonna say, is there a deadline that you have to hit? This just happened.
Better do it now than do it late.
So this is for a scholarship.
You have to do $1,500.
That's what it
Or at
is.
least get the chance.
Do you know this, or you just need one of them?
I need 2, so 2 people.
You got somebody?
Well, yeah, but this is the fiscal officer.
No, it's trust, or you or.
Yeah, either one.
I'll just say.
Thank you.
Good luck.
We lost 1 game.
Nice.
2. We are 7, dropping the ball.
Pretty good.
Pretty damn good.
Pretty good, all right.
Our track record is 2 years.
Take it. I really think you should sign that until they sit out here or executive
Oh.
session.
Yeah, sit down, I'm so quick.
Much like myself.
Huh? Okay.
You're stealing
Thank
it?
you. All right,
Thank you, man.
thank you, good luck.
Have a good one.
Take care, guys.
Bye, all.
See you.
See ya. Bye, see ya.
You go through the labor, you don't get the baby. Did it get dark for you? A little bit.
It does look darker, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, it is 8:03, and I will make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
Vote.
Trustee
Voting.
Myers,
Yes.
trustee DeTillo.
Yes.
Trustee DeSantis.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Trustee Myers,
Yes.
Yep.
trustee DeTillo.
Yeah.
Trustee DeSantis.
Yes.
New key fob.
New key fob, it's fancy.